Hi guys, I'm Dennis. I'm the technical project leader of the new Audi Rs E-Tron Gt. We're here on Rhode Island to present the performance of our new car, and we would like to start with the longitudinal performance, and therefore we have a closed airfield here that we can show today the performance. And what better driver could we have than our Formula E driver, Lucas Di Grassi.
Dennis,
Hey,
what's up? This is amazing. I'm super excited to drive it, and I'm really looking forward to drive it here. I just heard it's quite quick, so I'm really looking forward to it.
It's super quick, you have a quarter mile, and then also some space to brake, so
Let's do it.
You gotta get into the groove.
okay, countdown, 3,
2, 1, go!
Wow! 100! Wow, that's so quick! Whoa, and it stops like crazy. To 0. That was insane! Woo! Unbelievable! I want to do it again. It's super, super fast. It's the fastest Audi ever that I've driven.
Amazing!
see, I told you. Okay, let's try it right again. Ready? 3, 2,
1, go!
Woo-hoo! 150! 200! Wow! Let's do it again! Dennis, just wow! My mind is full blown by the acceleration of this car. This thing accelerates over and over again, super fast. How's it possible?
For us, it was very important to have a car that is reproducible every time you accelerate. You don't want to have a different acceleration every time. You as a Formula E driver, you know you need to have the same performance all over and over. So we have 2 PSM synchronized engines.
So 2 engines, front and rear.
Front and rear,
Yeah.
high performance engines, and we have a very sophisticated cooling system, of course. So we know exactly where you have the biggest heat and where we need to bring the cooling to. So we
Yeah,
can
so-
decide battery or engines or the pulse inverter, what needs to be cooled. And also on the other side, for braking, we know how much energy we need in the brakes or how much energy we have, and so we can control the cooling to specifically cool either the brakes or the high voltage system. So that gives you the outstanding performance on this car.
That's really, really impressive. It accelerates and brakes extremely well. And I guess it handles really well.
Here we could just do the acceleration. Let's go to the country roads.
Can we go?
You can check out the suspension. I mean, you know, we have a fully active air suspension.
Let's see how it handles.
Great, let's see. Let's go.
So now we are here on the countryside of roads, trying the dynamics of this car. Yeah, it looks pretty good on acceleration. Let's see how it handles on these sharp turns. And when you're going down, you have all the regeneration unit charging back the battery. So when you touch the brake, you don't have the mechanic brakes really sticking into the disc. You have a magnetic brake. Basically, the motor generator unit is working as a generator, getting all the energy that the car has, the kinetic energy, and transforming back into electricity, back into the battery. So it's very interesting when you brake and feel how this is very well regulated. What is very important to point out also is that when you accelerate out of the corners with this nearly 700 horsepower, the Quattro is really, really helpful to put the immense torque of the electric motors into the ground. And this is very important because the Quattro helps to regenerate. So when you brake, it takes the energy out of the 4 wheels back into the battery. But when you accelerate, all that torque is instantly putting down by the 4 wheels, managing by the torque vector, and the car accelerates just insanely fast. In a conventional car, you have only the front wheel steering the car, and here you have 4 wheels. That actually helps a lot the car to gain stability in the corner and be very agile and have a very, very good change of direction, which should combining with a low center of gravity creates a unique driving experience. I'm not feeling the bumps, but that's a good thing because I set this car to comfort mode, and with that the car lifted itself a few centimeters from the ground. The air suspension made it much more comfortable, but without losing the agility, without losing this feel for the tarmac. And that's truly remarkable. What Audi has accomplished with this car, to be able to be comfortable, to have the space, but at the same time have the agility and the acceleration and the braking capacity, and really feel the car. It's what makes this car the ultimate Gran Turismo. So I'm deeply impressed of what Audi has done here. This is a real Gran Turismo car. Has everything you need: speed, stability, comfort. I had an amazing time driving it, and I'm sure you're gonna have it too. The first time I drove this car, the first time I put on dynamic and I went on throttle, I had just a smile on my face. I was not really, truly not expecting so much acceleration, so much grip. And then at the same time, we drove here many kilometers around the countryside, and it's fully comfortable, quiet, but also very agile. So it pretty much has everything. I think it's the best car I've ever driven from Audi. So I'm pretty happy, pretty positively impressed of what he has done here. A perfect Gran Turismo car is that car that combines different qualities into one product, and it's extremely hard to achieve that. Because this car is electric, its center of gravity is very low, but at the same time you have a lot of space, you can add a lot of comfort, so you have the instant torque, the acceleration, you have the low center of gravity with the agility, and you have the comfort of a saloon. So it is the most complete car you can have, and a one-way solution to have everything. There are a few technologies that makes the e-tron GT so dynamic, and it's a combination of those. We cannot mention one without mentioning the other. So first, the flat floor architecture makes the center of gravity very low, and that's why in race cars you see the race cars very low, because you need to bring the center of gravity low to gain agility. And you can only do that because the battery is an electric vehicle. You put it on as close as possible to the ground. This car has two motors, quattro drive, full torque vectoring, which makes it very agile. And on top of it, you have four-wheel steering, which is very unusual. Normal cars, they have only two-wheel steering. And with four-wheel steering, you are maximizing the tire capacity on the ground at any given time. So all these technologies combined creates a completely mind-blowing driving experience with the agility, acceleration, and braking. So given the technologies that allow the e-tron GT to be agile and fast and low center of gravity, also open spaces for the car to be spacious inside, and of course with the build quality of Audi, it makes it extremely luxurious as well. So you have space for luggage, for people, for everything, and you have an incredible Audi unique quality of build. So one technology goes in synergy with the other, and that's what makes it a perfect Gran Turismo car. There are a few technologies that make the Audi e-tron GT very comfortable. First of all, there's a space inside, very spacious car. The air suspension, so you can really feel when you change the driving mode, the car goes up and down, and you can control that, how much you want it to be sportive, how you want it to be more comfortable. And then the dampers, of course, you have control dampers that makes the car stable, but at the same time you don't feel the bumps so much. It's very smooth over the bumps, and I was very impressed with that, how you could defer the agility from the bumpiness. You can still feel the road, you can still feel the car moving around, and the car is very stable, but at the same time it absorbs in a very special way all these road small holes and surface differentiations. Of course, when you sit in a car like this and you put your foot on the throttle, this is a motorsport car. This is it's super fast. it's the same type of reaction that I have in my Formula E car. As soon as you put the throttle down, you still feel the 100% of the torque straight away, and the car is just like a very aggressive machine accelerating at incredible speed. So definitely the DNA of motorsport in this car, it's very present, and when you drive it, you feel it straight away. From the agility on the corners up to the brake capacity and acceleration capacity. Personally, since I started driving electric cars, I don't want to go back. So I really enjoy driving electric, of course for the environment, but also because I think the feeling of driving, it's completely different. It's much better after you get used to it. I charge it every day like my cell phone. I have no problem with that. And second, what I'm looking into a car, at least now that I have a family, I have a young boy, there's another one coming. So I want a car that can fit everybody. But at the same time, I want to have that, if I buy myself and I want to have fun, I can have that sportive package as well. And now with the e-tron GT, you can have exactly that, plus a better quality, better driver feeling everywhere. So it's for me, that's the ultimate all-around car that I'm really looking forward to have one day soon.
Hello, my name is Dennis Schmitz. I'm the technical project manager of the Audi Rs E-Tron Gt. And it is my job, together with a small team at Audi, to organize the whole development process of this car. So we start at the very first beginning, when we have the first technical drawings, when we come together with the people from the components, we develop the single components, we put it all together in the end, we build the very first prototypes, like one of the cars you see here, all the way through to the testing and then to the rollout into the different markets. The main challenge of the development process of this car, of the e-tron GT, was always to find the right balance between the outstanding performance that we want to have. It's a real RS, it's electric, but it's a real RS car, but also the all-day usage of the car. And this you have to find the perfect balance, as said. And also what's very challenging on an electric car is that you want to have high range, so low consumption. This means that you have to work on the aerodynamics, you have to work on the weight, but still have in mind that you want to have this outstanding performance and the comfort of the car. The e-tron GT is characterized as a Gran Turismo. So it's first of all a car, as you can see, it has 4 doors. That is also a travel car. It's a super sporty car, it's an RS, but it's still also a comfortable car that you can use for longer distance travels. So coming to the technical data of the car, most important, the system power of the car is 440 kilowatts. We have a permanent all-wheel drive, so electric quattro, and this allows us to have an acceleration from 0 to 100 kph in below 3.5 seconds. But we also have a top speed of 250 kilometers per hour, kph. The e-tron GT and the Taycan are using the same platform, this is correct, but this car is completely a true Audi. Based on the platform, we developed a complete Audi, which you can see on the design. First of all, the quattro blisters, you see the all-wheel drive also in the body shape, and the complete design, exterior and interior, is truly Audi philosophy. You can see the lights specific for Audi, also the rim design, everything inside. And of course, very important, if you drive the car, it feels like a real Audi, of course. We have developed all the application that makes an Audi an Audi. So how it drives, how it brakes, how the suspension works. This is all truly, can feel it as an Audi. I like the Audi e-tron GT very much because for me it's such a performing car. It's always amazing to see how it accelerates and the performance of the car, besides being an electric car. This is an RS, of course, but it has the highest power output of any of our RS models. And this is truly amazing to drive it every time. Second, which you can see, is really the design. The design is completely outstanding. A new idea also of the interior design, which really brings, I think, Audi to the next level, going into electric cars and electric RS cars especially. Okay, I would like to talk a little bit how we achieve to have a super sporty performing car on the one hand, but also a comfortable, all-day usable Gran Turismo on the other hand. Maybe starting with the suspension. We have a fully active suspension with active dampers where we can change the setup, controlled by the Charisma system. So you can have either efficiency or very sporty suspension. Coming maybe to the active aerodynamics, we have elements in the front and the rear where we can decide if we want to have more cooling or more or less drag, so more efficiency on the car. Also with the active spoiler, the rear spoiler, we can really decide if we need more downforce. That helps us, of course, on the performance side, but on the other hand, if you go to a more economic mode, we have a better range. On the performance side, we have a permanent electric quattro four-wheel drive that we use, and we have, in addition to that, a very low point of gravity of the car, which is realized by having the battery very low on the floor. That helps a lot. And also we have features like the optional carbon fiber roof, which really brings weight down from the top of the car and also lowers the point of gravity of the car.
Next to me stands the Audi Rs E-Tron GT. The Rs E-Tron GT has impressive numbers. So over 640 horsepower, and it accelerates in under 3.5 seconds from 0 to 100. The E-Tron GT is a really fascinating Gran Turismo with an extraordinary design. The Rs E-Tron GT marks a new era of the two letters RS, and so stands for a new dimension of RS at Audi Sport GmbH. The Rs E-Tron GT marks a new era of RS, and so it marks our start into high performance segment in the electric way. The Rs E-Tron GT will be the strongest model RS we have ever offered at Audi, and we are proud of, we will be ahead of our core competitors in the market. We would like to address new customers with that car for the Red Rhombus and for the Audi brand. Of course, we would like to keep our customers, but we are seeking for new, really progressive customer group who are interested in technological topics. They adore design and they adore high-tech, and they also always want to have the newest technological feasible on the market. And they share with us what we have in our DNA. They enjoy the cultivated way of performance which we're going to have in the future, especially with that car. So our future plan at Audi Sport with the portfolio is starting right away today. So the Rs E-Tron GT will be the first fully electric car. For the future, we will keep successful ICE engines. We will have fascinating fully electric concepts, and we were working on so-called performance PHEV concepts. All in all, we put together customer feedback, journalist feedback, and we look into global trends, we look into market and segment trends, and in the end, we put all it together to have the perfect recipe to create our product portfolio. So my personal highlight when I sit in the Audi Rs E-Tron GT is when I'm sitting behind the steering wheel and when I'm pushing the pedal, it's the acceleration. When you accelerate in under 3.5 seconds to 100 in a Gran Turismo, it's absolutely amazing. So I'm getting goosebumps and I'm just smiling when I get out of the car. So it's perfect.
So Dennis, you work at Audi, you have a fantastic job. Tell us a bit about your job.
I'm the technical project leader of this car, and of course not just myself. We work in a small team. We are responsible for the whole development of the car. So we oversee all the activities starting from the very first design drawings, including components, the platform, and all the development until the finished product. We oversee, of course, when they build the first prototypes, like one of the ones that we drive here today. Then all the testing, all the homologation, all the certification. So let's say we oversee the whole process, including budget and everything you need.
So you know this car from the ground up. What are the key challenges to make a car like this?
I mean, the key challenge, especially for an electric car, as you know, is always to find the right compromise between maximum performance. I mean, it's an RS E-Tron GT, so you want to have you just saw how it accelerates.
Yeah, the performance is really good.
Exactly. But you also need a car that is drivable in all-day usage. So you want, and especially this is a GT, so we have a four-door car that you can also use on a daily basis. So it needs to have the right comfort. And what's very important on an electric car, you know, it's the right balance between the performance and the range. So the power consumption, you need to have the right aerodynamic system to make the car as low consuming as possible, and on the other hand still as much performing as possible.
I'm super happy. I think this is the best all-around car that Audi has ever produced, so congratulations. It's really amazing. Handles well, accelerates, it's very, very comfortable,
Yep.
and has a lot of space. So it's very hard to find this sweet spot over there. So it's really well done. Congrats.
And as you said, it handles very well. So as you know, we have the active air suspension where we can
Okay.
control each individual damper and the air chamber, which consists of 3 chambers. So we can switch between the different modes in the charisma that we have. Also, what's specific on an electric car, you know, we have the big battery which we put very low on the floor, so you have a very low point of gravity.
So all the batteries on the floor.
Exactly,
It's
it's a flat floor.
Flat floor.
Exactly, and super low point of gravity. So you can really, as you can experience on the roads, you can really handle the car. You don't feel the weight of the car.
And you can see all the aerodynamic details there in the exit of the front wheel arch. You can see that everything has been really well done, like for center of gravity specifically. We have this carbon roof.
The carbon fiber roof.
How
yeah.
much weight does it shed off the top of the car?
Yeah, you can say roughly it's around 10 kilograms.
That's
that you
very
take
cool.
out.
That's very
Yeah.
cool. We have also active aero.
We have active aero, we have an active rear spoiler, we have the active front aero.
So you have
So you
active
can-
on the front also.
Yes, not for aerodynamics, but you can switch if you want to have cooling air into the brakes, into the system, or if you want to close it for better aerodynamics. It's all active. Also what you said here, the openings for the cooling of the brakes, it's not fake, it's not design. I mean, of course we have the nice quattro ballistas, so you see it's a 4-wheel driven car.
Yeah.
But this is all fully active to cool, together with, of course, the wheels, the special aero wheels that also help for cooling and to bring down the CW. So the drag of the car.
Yeah, I have to say it drives really well. It's a really good car in every direction you look, and really well done. So congrats again.
Great, yeah. Thank you for your feedback.
Audi Sport stands for high performance in race cars and series production cars. We are pursuing a consistent electrification strategy in the high performance segment. The Audi Rs E-Tron Gt is the sporty flagship of the electrification strategy at Audi. Electrification is the foundation of our future, and it will be a thrilling experience for our customers. The Audi e-tron Gt is a highly desirable flagship for the brand and the basis for our first fully electric high-performance model. The Audi Rs E-Tron Gt is a milestone for us. It paves the way into the all-electric RS world, and it is our commitment to the company's CO2 target. The Audi RS models are Audi's sportiest and most desirable models, with the most powerful engines, maximum dynamics, and huge driving pleasure, all combined with uncompromised everyday usability. With the Audi Rs E-Tron Gt, we are translating these Audi RS attributes for the electric era. This is a revolution at Audi in the high-performance segment. The Audi Rs E-Tron Gt is leading the way into the all-electric RS world at Audi Sport. And at the same time, we fulfill our promise to introduce future RS models shortly after the launch of the base model. That's high performance from the team and from the product.